Fear and greed run through the wire. Candles climb and then expire. Our edges cut from the profile, sharp and clean by every buyer. He conquers the markets, he turns water into wine. His timing flows where chaos turns divine. Cut sharp enough to time the sign. Yeah, this man's no common trader. He commands the market's numbers. We call him Chef Bailey. The market bends beneath his flame. Fear and greed run through the wire. Candles climb and then expire. Our edges cut from the profile, sharp and clean by every buyer. Markets move, they twist and swing. Every tick can burn or blink. Ryan keeps calm, he trusts his thing. The charts tell him everything. But when T1 makes ding, 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 the futures spread their hidden wing. And he is ready for anything. Vic's still looking like a restless king.
Most traders drown in charts and still miss the real levels. Get clear daily roadmaps for the S&P 500 futures. Levels, setups, and strategies that matter. Delivered straight to your inbox pre-market every morning. Subscribe now on Substack. Conquer the markets.
Woo! Woo! Am I hyped today? And no, it's not cocaine. We had an amazing day today. And you know what's terrible? I feel like I say that all the time, but I swear to God, it really is this good. I know all of you attending right now, a lot of trade plan holders I see in the room. You guys know it was really good today. Really good. It's good every day, but damn, some days are just like Shooter McGavin style. You know what I'm saying? Shooter. So anyways, listen, guys. You know, this shit hypes me up. I was just talking with a new member the other day, you know, some guy on the phone who signed up for a course and class and stuff. I said, you know, this process surprises even me day in and day out, just how ridiculous it is. I mean, there is so much opportunity to be made with these plans, and we're going to get into it today because it was absolutely phenomenal. What's up, Zoog? Good to see you, buddy. Raj, Preven, little Bob, what is it, Bob Saget? Bob Sigel. Okay, Bob, what's up? Got a nice little crew over here on YouTube as well. I'm so happy everybody showed up today. I've got a lot of slides. We got some really interesting stuff to talk about. And we got that short again today, baby. We got it. Oh, we got it. You know, I love my shorts. Oh, my God. I mean, they've trained me to be a bull so long. Oh, my God. We finally started losing support on the daily, the weekly, the 4-hour. And Zoog knows I've been sniffing this joint for a long time. But we finally got it. And ooh-wee, did it taste so good. And you know what? We had the data to back it up and prove it. And so let's get right into that right now. Enough talk. Let's just back it up with action. But first and foremost, guys, as usual, follow me across all the socials. Ryan Bailey Edge across YouTube, X, Substack, and TradingView. And listen, I know I keep telling you, if you haven't subscribed to the indicators on TradingView, do that. And I have one that's done. I'm just busy here with my parents. Today's my last day. Well, tomorrow's my last day. I go home Saturday, and mission is complete. I'm going to get this new indicator out to you guys. It's already done. It's going to mark all the levels for you right out of the plan. It's going to be dope. You just copy the string in. It looks really good. It took me a long time to get it right, but it looks great. So make sure you follow along. I'll definitely get you guys added if you are a current paid subscriber. I will add anybody who's already subscribed to the other ones. And yeah, just get you guys hooked up. So that's what's up. So make sure you follow me across, all these socials, and we'll make it happen for you guys, because I am constantly posting on X and Substack. And really, Substack's my home. I'm not going to lie. Substack has treated me really well. I've had a great base over there. You know, X is starting to come along. YouTube is a little lagger, but man, Substack, I love you guys. Substack, you guys are cheers. And we are fucking killing it over here. So let's just get right into it. Now, I wanted to tell you guys something else too. I would love some feedback. I put this in the room. And so you guys will have to tell me, okay? So I've been using, so the way I do my trade plans every morning, I pull the charts up, I get the options level, I chart everything, and then I turn on a dictator, right? I use Google Docs to dictate. And I talk for like, I don't know, 30 minutes, right? And I go over the levels and I have a little format. As you guys know, it always comes out sweet, right? It's like a perfect setup. And so, you know, I wanted to try something a little different because Gemini, they upgraded their model and I don't know, I just don't like it. Anyways, it's not for what I'm doing. So I started to do something a little different. So now I'm using Anthropic. I'm using Claude. It's called Claude Cowork. And, you know, Claude is great. I use it for coding. I use it for all kinds of stuff. It's probably my favorite LLM. But when it does writing, it's a little bit more verbose. It likes to elaborate a little bit. And so the trade plans were a little longer today. I don't know if you guys noticed, they had a lot more detail in it. There was a lot more context. I would love some feedback on this. Some people said they loved it. I haven't heard anybody said they didn't like it yet. So I think it'll be a lot better for people who are learning and et cetera, because it really captured a lot of the things that I said. Gemini tends to truncate things and kind of give you the important parts. But Claude really picked up a lot of detail this morning. It actually took a lot longer, too. It's interesting. Usually Gemini whips it out in like 3 minutes. It took like almost 20 minutes for Claude to spit out my trade plan this morning, which was pretty intense. So that's why I was a little late this morning. But I would love some feedback from you guys. You know, tell me what's up. Tell me if you liked it. I'm going to do it again tomorrow and the rest of the week. If you guys give me the green light, we're going to continue to move forward. The people who are still understanding and learning the process thought it was very helpful. But I look forward to hearing from you guys anyway. So let's go ahead and start out. You'll notice when we do these slides, some of the text is a little longer than normal, and that's kind of what I wanted to give you a little heads up about. So as you can see here, as usual, look at this. Look at it. Look at it. Do you hear me? Look at it. Look at this right here. 2 days of squeeze and still no support gained. Hello. What does that tell you? You know daddy's leaning short. I've been leaning short this whole time, but you know when I have a trade plan title like that, you already know. Zoom knows. It was like, I smell something. I smell a short. We already know. Listen, so breaking down the 68.57 monthly momentum pivot and the 69.03 weekly shift level. And of course, the VIX 21.74 breakout pivot, right? Laid it all out for you, right in the trade plan, right in the title. That's all you need. That's really all you needed, real talk. But we're going to get into it and let you guys check it out. So as usual, I'm just going to bust down the context and we're going to do the flow so that you guys can really kind of get an idea where my head's at when I write this, right? So at the time of writing, we found ourselves sitting directly above our monthly pivot at 68.57.25. We tested the 93.25 in the overnight session, which is the same daily that we smacked at the highs yesterday. Okay, they retested it. And we were right back in the 6-week range as our weekly point of control continues to act like a magnet and bring us all the way back to value. Well, as you guys know, we sold off the other day and they just squeezed 100 points and we ended up right back at the point of control. We talked about it yesterday. Okay. And so again, so what happens, right? So today, you know, obviously things are, you know, we'll get to it. Don't get excited. Don't get ahead of yourself. So I always start with the range and, you know, what the relative volume was. And we were up decent in relative volume this morning. We had 20% over. And so I expected a 60-point range above or below the overnight high. We actually exceeded that by about 20 points. We had a very volatile day today, which was awesome. And, you know, the trade plans captured it all, which was even better. So, of course, being in negative gamma territory, guys, I've been talking about this for a couple of weeks. You're probably tired of hearing this. But at the end of the day, negative gamma means the dealers are hedging short. If dealers are hedging short and the indices are, you know, they're an upside bias product anyway, that means chances are we're going to make money in both directions. Okay. Now, there are times when the indices just flush and they rape everybody, but more than likely, we usually get rotation. That's kind of how it works. So the negative gamma means we really have a downside lean, but money can be made in both directions. Okay. And again, I've made it very clear right here. Trend, right? Downside lean. We have not gained support on the weekly, daily, 4-hour, or 1-hour time frames. You guys know I don't even like the 1-hour time frame, but I broke it all the way down to the 1 hour for you, right? This massive 2-day move has accomplished nothing structurally. What do you think this means? Where do you think guys think I'm leaning, right? I wonder, right? All we did was pop higher to test the untested portion of the leg. Lower lows and lower highs continue without support being gained. We maintain our downside lean. Boom. Shooter McGavin, baby. All right, so let's bring it back up here. So here's the market context, just kind of bringing it all back. We're currently right back in the heart of the massive 6-week range. And the 2-day pop has accomplished absolutely nothing from a structural standpoint. We have not gained support on any time frame, and all we do is pop up to play the highest untested portion of the leg at 96.75. This is a very textbook in progression play. Currently, we are definitely, currently, we're definitely still leaning to the downside. Sorry about that. Yeah, so the plan is clear, right? We're coming off a 2-day squeeze and tested the highest portion of our leg down. We have gained zero support, and we're right back at the important pivots. 3 key levels will determine the momentum today. 69.03, right? We talked about that. That's our upside pivot. The 68.83 midpoint weekly pivot, and of course, the famous 68.57 massive monthly pivot. I've talked about these till I've been blue in the face. You guys can probably recite them by heart right now yourself. So again, as you guys know, when the trade plan is all over at the end, I do a little recap, right? So I've been leaning to the downside for weeks. Nothing's changed. We had 2 major days to the upside, both squeezing shorts as we move to test the highest untested part of the leg. We've not gained any support on any time frame. I'm still currently leaning to the downside. However, I never know, right? Things can change fast. So we break it down, right? So as you guys know, I'm always watching VIX. I'm always watching SPX, and I watch ES. I use this as tiebreakers, okay? It's very simple. Like, we trade ES, but it's nice to have a tiebreaker, especially one that moves in the opposite direction, which is VIX, right? So for SPX, you want to see us pop above 81 for higher, and ES, you want to see above 93. Well, we knew we were suppressed under 80, and we were already sitting at 57, right? So as long as they stay below the significant pivots, boom, at these 3 pivots, which we talked about already, will continue to have momentum to the downside. And we can currently see that right now in the pre-market. They had pushed all the way down in the pre-market already. My support levels to buy are extremely thin. And that doesn't mean that they won't play, right? It doesn't mean they won't play. But if you're looking to take longs, I wait for levels to reclaim and confirm before initiating, right? So all we can do is understand where we need to be above or below, and those and be patient, right? So that's very simple. So as you can tell, this is a little bit more verbose. There was a lot here. Maybe next time I'll trim it up a little bit. But this is the first day of the new vision here. So just trying to make, trying to help everybody out. So here we go. So also, this is really interesting. So again, perks of the Discord room, right? So I post this in the morning, and this is even before the day opened. I know Zook saw it because he commented on it. My man, Zook, you're my homie, dude, by the way. And God damn, you eat good, son. You're a meat eater after my own heart. Zook eats more steak than this guy. This guy, he's a straight cannibal. So anyways, this is kind of my vision this morning, right? Above 96, we continue to move higher to this untested portion of the leg. But really below that, I was pretty bearish, right? Because we talked about that, right? It's like under 93 or 03, we were pushing to the downside. And really below the 50, 68.50. Well, we know the 68.57 was the biggie, and I have another level at 51 or 50. I can't remember what it was. We'll get into it in the trade plan. But that was really where the momentum shifted, and we'll get into it here shortly. Okay, so this is my vision for the morning before the day even happened, which is obviously very useful. Not only for me, because, it kind of gives me a guide today and say, okay, stick to the plan, right? But for other people as well, because they see this, and then they see the trade plan, and I keep talking about how we haven't gained. Well, now you kind of understand where I'm leaning to, right? So that's what's up. So let's just start out here. All right, so here we go. Looking at VIX, yesterday we targeted the 81 daily perfectly as our potential to reach. We touched it and we pulled back slightly. You guys remember this? We talked about as long as we popped above this 37, we would see 65 and 81, and we did. We went right up there and we stopped, right? Well, this happened to be the daily leg down on SPX as well. So for me, the big push up was higher above 31, which we talked about, right? And then also we have a big untested level down here at 37. Okay. So that was what we wanted to focus on. So we have a daily level at 37. If this plays, it could hold SPX up and send it higher. Below this, our next level of support is 6,800, which has a 4-hour a daily. And this is a must hold. If it doesn't hold, price pushes down, significantly flushing SPX, right? So as you can see right here, we had this little cluster. Let me zoom in right here. We had this little cluster. We had 03 and 6,800, and then obviously the 37 level, right? And then 68.83 was the breakout to the upside. All right. So keep those levels in mind, because right now we're going to come right into here and boom. I'm sorry about my dad. He literally waits till I get on the stream and starts making noise. I'm pretty sure he does this to me on purpose. So my apologies. It's my last week here. I can't wait to go home. So anyways, so here's the 68.37. This was a perfect touch here, guys. And this brought us all the way up to fill the gap. And I actually didn't have the same picture for ES. Let me go ahead and just pull my chart over and show you guys. We actually had this in the trade plan, and I forgot this one. So just to kind of show you, I'm going to just fly off the hip here and show you guys what's cracking here. So check this out.
So what happened, it just got apparently too long
So this is, all right, here, let's see.
So what they did is.
Let me change this. Give me 1 second here.
And they were checking them out.
Yep.
Now.
68.35 right there is our daily. And I believe it was in the trade plan as well. Hang on 1 second. Let me look here. Key support. 68.35, right? 33 to 36. Okay. So there you go. Untested 1 hour, overnight lows, and monthly VWAP. This is untested 1 hour. It's just with the daily, etc. Look for the long at 36 to play and get over the overnight low at 35, potential squeeze higher, right? Well, what do? Check this out. Look at 35 play like Tits McGee right there, almost perfect, right? Popped up. This thing wasn't just a little play either. This took us up to 78. This was like for a solid, what is that? 35, 45, 55, 65, 75 points. That is 40 points that thing produced right there. I didn't take the long, but that was super juicy. As a lot of the guys know in the room, I was looking for the short, right? So, but that was an amazing play that popped up. So I wanted to show you that because it lined up with SPX perfectly, and I didn't make a slide for it. So this was awesome right out of the trade plan from the beginning, and we talked about it in the Discord room as it was happening. So here's the next thing. Let's talk about VIX, because this is my boo here, guys. I use this as my tiebreaker, and I also use it to really help me determine if the move is going to continue, right? Because I trade this exactly like I trade everything else. Like I mark it the exact same way. The levels are the same way. I play it the same way. Is it tested, untested? Is it going to get a reaction? That's how we do it. This is how the process works. So right here, we had the 2174 breakout pivot. Last night, we held the 2078 weekly. As you guys know, we held it yesterday. And we had the 2174 breakout pivot right here. So this is the breakout pivot above below for VIX. If it breaks above this level, we're going to continue to push lower in the indices, creating a massive headwind. VIX has shown the inability to make new lows and continues to make higher highs. This could simply be a pivot point for us to move above. Watch this level closely. I know you guys are smiling right now because you already know what the after effects look like, right? So listen, the headwind zone, if it pushes above 2074, it takes us into the massive weekly here at 2043. This is the important part because this comes into play. Check this out. You're going to like this, right? I actually was able to capture this real time because I was finally able to sit by the computer for at least a little bit. My parents were really killing me today. So here we go. So this weekly is technically untested, and we should watch for a reaction. However, given the VIX's structure, we could simply be a stepping stone, or what I like to call a head bump, right? Just bump your head on it, pull back, and then go. A breakout above this weekly be a huge gauge and take us into the monthly up here at 2470. Okay, boom. Let's just leave it at that right now. We don't want to get too verbose on that. Our AI tool has done enough of that for us. So check this out. Here's the after effects. Boom. This was the open. We pulled back a little bit. Here's the 2174. This little pullback was the pop we had off the 35 daily, and they just freaking ripped face, right? So I'm not going to read all this again. We can clearly see what the hell happened here, and it did exactly what we wanted. And look, the 2343, look at that little head bump right there. Little head bump, pull back, whee, and then they pushed right up in the 2470 monthly. Again, this area was tested. We talked about how it was tested, but, it was a big spot, so I thought maybe you could get a little reaction, but it didn't. And that's one reason why I only take untested levels. I don't guess. If it's not untested, I don't touch it. I actually talked with Mateus about this as well. And it's just, I'll pass on the trade. Sometimes second touches play, but they don't play with me. And I'll guarantee you that. So here's actually a little up close spot here of what actually happened. You can see the 2343 played, pulled back pretty good, pulled back over $1. And I don't think this was done pulling back at the time I took this picture. So kind of cool. So here is the next spot, guys. This is great. We're kind of trucking along here. God, this trade plan is so freaking good. So good. You ready for this? All right, boom. Check this out. So here's our actionable trade plan right from the beginning. Now, I kind of chopped this up a little bit, and I was taking this really right before I had to be in here. So you have to excuse all my goofy lines here. But you can see this is right from the beginning. We have 3 massive pivots. We know what they are. 57 for the above below momentum, 83 for the midpoint gauge, and then 03 for the upshift, right? Currently, we sit right at the 57, right? That was right here. That's the big red line right here. Currently, sit at the 57. We're flirting with this level. It's been played pretty much all night. Below our significant pivots, we maintain momentum to the downside. Downside, players. Downside. Right? So here's the cool part, right? So as I write this, right, this is the time of the writing. It's way before the market opens. we have this massive pivot. And I told you I had the 57 and then I had the daily at 51. That is this red line here, and there's a 4 hour at 50, et cetera. Just kind of have this little thick zone there, including with my 57, right? So we always have a zone, well, not always, but, in this particular situation, because we played this level so many times, I start to look for context around there because they stop playing perfectly. They start to get a little squish. So we had a little 7-point zone in there, right? So I have stressed the importance of this 57 level, monthly level so many times. The level has kept a lid on things and been detriment and the detriment for our downside lean. We currently sit directly at this level. We've been flirting with it all night. Use this 57 in combination with the 51 daily for your above below gauge. Being below this area shifts momentum severely. Severely. You hear me? Say it with me. Severely to the downside, right? Push below 51 opens the door to the support zones below. Well, let me show you what's up. So again, you guys know I'm a big fan of data, right? And Edgeful is the platform for that. I am a huge fan of this platform. Listen, I'm going to keep it real. If you guys are trading, like for real trading, and you're trading for income, and you're not using this data, you are making a serious mistake. Yes, they plug me. Yes, the whole 9 yards. I'm an affiliate for them, everything. But really, I would support this product even if I wasn't. I use this. If they dropped me today, I would still use them. And I'll tell you why. Because they gave me the confidence to hold. Because they said we have a 92% chance of a breakout on a Thursday for the prior day's high or low. Well, the high was 94. At this point, we're under 03, or we're under the 93, we're under the 83, and we're under the 57, right? So I decided to get short at 52.50 because I'm thinking, hey, we have a 92% chance of hitting 68.17. So I said, you know what? I'm just going to leave one on and kind of let it go. And look at this banger, 35 points, held all the way down. And of course, you guys know it went way farther, but this was a fantastic target as this was a potential long spot in the trade plan as well, which we'll get into again. So thank you, Edgeful, for giving me the confidence to hold this because I have to be honest, I probably would have puked this about halfway through. I actually had some level in there and there was a little pop and they were flirting, et cetera. And I was like, should I get out? And I literally had to just kind of sit back and say, okay, dude, just let it go. Let it go. And they did. They hit it. And I was so excited. I even pinged Rob. I'm like, bro, am I going to get paid? He's like, you're going to get paid. Fuck yeah, we're going to get paid. 92%. You can't beat it. Guys, listen, my trade plans are $50 a month. I've told you that is $2.50 a trading day. You're foolish not to pay that, right? For what I've shown you. Edgeful is the same price. It's $2.50 a trading day. This shit's $50 a month. This is some of the best data I've ever seen. Like for this kind of price, this is stuff that, you don't even get this kind of information from a Bloomberg terminal. Like this is awesome shit. And they do every future, every stock, every Forex. It's so good. They even do crypto. I don't look at it for anything but ES. But, because that's all I trade, but, it's the jam. So you guys do what you want. I plug it all the time because you really need to know and you'd be foolish not to use it. So I'm going to have my link in the bio. All I do is get credit for it. They don't pay me for it. Just let you guys know. They give me a monthly stipend regardless if I have 100 signups or 0. So, again, you can just go and you don't need to use my affiliate link, but I would certainly appreciate it just to let them know I'm doing my job. So anyways, on to the next slide. So we got this one. And again, you guys remember I told you I took the short all the way down to the prior day's low, right? What was the prior day's low? What was that prior day's low? 68.1775. Well, what is the next area of support here? Huh? Look at that. 15.75 to 17, right? Yesterday's low. 16 is a put wall. 15.75 is a tested daily, right? So again, this is a key. This is in combination with yesterday's low and the put wall, giving it some significance. This is a key area to watch for a sweep setup. If price pushes below yesterday's low and ultimately sweeps below the daily and the put wall at 15.75, look for a reclaim of yesterday's low with confidence and a squeeze back up to 35 and ultimately into the 50 zone. Take profits accordingly as being below the 57, momentum is shift to the downside, right? And again, I put it out right here. At that point, we would only be looking for to play pops for scalps. So what do? Look at this. They played it. They swept it. They came in here. They got back above yesterday's low. They popped up 20 points. Came up here. And what was the first target? Squeezed back to 35. I think they ended up going to 44 or something. I don't even know where they went. Yeah, 40. Let me look right here. Hang on. They went to 47. So a little bit higher than this. It was a great first target, right? And we thought that we'd get to the 50s. That was my spot. 50s, they went to 47. Pretty close. I can't always get it perfect, but pretty close. It's awesome. Awesome play. Why does my dad have the TV on? I tell you what. All right. So anyways, down below, guys, look, I was all about this singles down here. And I really thought they were going to come get this. But, I wasn't wrong. I'll tell you, because I posted this in the trade plan, and you know what they did? They did the Wile E. Coyote on us, ladies and gentlemen. They did that heat-seeking missile, the magnet took us right into it and cleaned up them singles. It was awesome. And that's actually where we got the first legitimate pop. That's the second little pop we got off of this area, which was superb. So great stuff there. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Now, let's go right back into the next trade. Okay, you ready? So check this out. Boom. Now, it missed me by a point here, but this was a perfect confluence, guys. This is SPX. Again, you guys know I'm watching SPX like a hawk. I try to fill you guys in so that you can use both of them in combination with each other, right? So boom. So right here we have SPX spot. I'm not going to read all this. This is nonsense, right? It's not nonsense, but we've talked about it already before. Our next support level is the 6,800, which has a 4-hour and a daily. And this is a must hold. If it doesn't hold, price pushes much below, we're flushing the SPX, which we know it did. But check out how close they got to that, right? That 03 damn near played. That was our same spot in ES. It was a nice confluence right there. It was a fantastic thing to watch both of the indices and use them in combination with each other for the push higher. So good stuff. All right. So here we go. Last one. Oh, that's not the last one. I got three more. So here's the other thing I wanted to show you, because I'm constantly watching SPX and you guys should be too. We mentioned the daily at 68.37. Now, I mentioned the daily because I mentioned it for the long, which it absolutely did play, right? And it sent us up something decent, if you guys remember, right? But I tell you guys all the time, what was once support, once you're below it, becomes resistance. Well, what did they do, right? They came down. Here's the pop above. Here down, they played it from the backside. And again, one more time from the backside and absolutely flushed something nasty. So that was a really cool trade. I was really happy to see that play out. And I think you guys will like this too. So check this out. So in the room, and again, this is more perks of being in the Discord room, guys, right? So check this out. I'm telling everybody right from the jump, and I wish I had the timestamp on here, but it was before the market opened because you could see where the price was at, right? So I said, I think this thing can get nuked today. I do. I thought it could get nuked today. 88 would be a great tee if they can't pop the 57 this morning, right? So I was like, if they pop 57, things are back up for debate because I have nothing higher untested. So it told me right there, like we really push above higher. We're going to keep going as long as we stay above that pivot. And look, you can see right here, I even had this 88 marked out for everybody. You guys know that was damn near the low today. Look at this. Check this out. Boom, look. Oh, shit, at 12:30. I'm like, here comes the 88. Zoom gave me the muscle here. Go ahead, Zoog. I love you, bro. You're the fucking man, son. So Zoog's my homie. We've been trading together for like 7 or 8 years now. He has become quite a beast, and I respect him so much. And so, when he gives me the little love sign, I know I'm doing right. So this was great stuff. This was a vision. I talked to you guys about the above below this morning. Yesterday, I called the high, the leg before the market even opened. Here we go again, trying to call the target down below. This is just stuff that comes with experience and understanding the process. And so again, finally, the 88. Let's talk about the 88, which happened to be the low of the day or pretty close to it. This was another buy zone in our trade plan, and this one didn't play perfect. I'll admit, the rest of the trades I show you play so pristine, right? This one had a little slop, but there's a reason for it, and I even kind of let it be known right here. We have a daily, a large weekly, and a 4-hour, all tested, absolutely all tested. This area is tested, in my opinion. Okay, let it know and be right there. And you guys heard me say even today, I don't trade tested levels. I just don't, right? Because I take the first test as the best test. That's all I take. Well, I did put out that I think this could be the spot, right? And that was the target from before the day even started, et cetera. And we talked about how this is, the 88 weekly, the 94 daily, provides a lot of strength from a high time frame perspective. We want to see this area play and get back above 94. Remember this. We want to see it get back above 94 with confidence. If that happens, we can squeeze to 15. And if price pushes above 15, and above yesterday's low, it could squeeze to 36 or the 50s. So check this out. Look at the 88, right here. I love this. This is good shit. I love this, right? Here's the 94. Boom. This is where we literally launched. Here's the 15, right? Here's the 15 with our put wall, our daily, yesterday's low. And where could we go? We could push to 36. Where do we go? Here's the daily at 35. Jordan. Oh, shit. LeBron, son. Okay. Oh, man. Oh, I fucking love this game. Okay. All right. All this is a big game, man. You just got to know how to play this shit, right? So here we go. So here's something I want to show. So we're done, right? So before I show that, let me just say this. All right. So the trade plan was ridiculous. I don't need to pat myself on the back or toot my own horn, but I'm gonna, because you guys can see it for yourself and you know what time it is. So now we're done with the trade plan. That was the trade plans for today. It was ridiculous, right? So now let's talk about what I think can happen, right? I still think we're coming down, and I'm going to show you why. This is actually a fantastic example. I posted this in the room. I had to capture it and bring it over, but just based on my process, if you guys were paying attention to this video, I talked about how we popped up, we played the highest untested portion of this leg. I actually talked about this yesterday in the stream, drew it out for you guys in the whole 9 yards. You don't believe me? Go back and watch yesterday's stream. You might actually learn something. Okay, so here you go. This was the highest untested in this leg down right here. What do? We popped up. We had a 2-day squeeze to pop up and play the highest untested level in progression. This was literally textbook progression plays. Where did I have that at? Hang on 1 second. Check this out. Hang on. Where's it at? Where's it at? Oh, here it is. Look at this. Very textbook in progression, right? It's all they do is pop up and play the highest untested portion of the leg at 96.75, which is very textbook in progression play. Still definitely leaning to the downside. Look what they did, right? They played this area. Boom. Now we're coming down. Now, here's something that I tell everybody in the Discord room. I'm going to tell you guys. Oh, I've got this little bitty ass screen here. Let me put it up here for you. Here's what I'm going to tell you guys right now. If you can't gain support and you can't make new highs, you have to make a new low. That is how it works. Okay? That is literally the fundamentals of how it works. If you can't make a new high, you got to make a new low. Why? Because if you didn't have enough buyers and you went all the way up to the leg end and they couldn't make it, they're not going to be buying it anymore. You got to go make a new low and find new buyers. And that's why sweep plays work. Okay. It's the same exact principle on the bigger time frame, the smaller time frame, all the other shit. This is a textbook example. Mark my words. We are not coming down yet, or we're not finished coming down yet. Did they pop at the close? Yes, they popped super decent. They popped like 60 points at the close. I don't care. We're going to see where we open in the morning. But my guess is before this is over, and I think we have NFP tomorrow, which is going to be massive news, we're going to make new lows underneath 67.20. I truly believe that's going to happen. Now, can I be wrong? Of course I can be wrong. We still have the 69 to play. But again, I don't think it's going to do anything because we haven't gained anything. I needed this 4 hour to close above here in order for me to buy any of this shit. If you notice today, I haven't talked about any long that I took. Nothing. All I did was take shorts today. Why? Because the process told me to. I wasn't interested in fading the process. And I know Zug is excellent at playing rotation. This guy is constantly long when I'm looking for shorts. A lot of times I get squeezed because he's long, because he knows how to play the rotations. I still tend to struggle with that. So I keep it real. I just play the process. I look for the high time frame move. I take the meat of the trade and I get the fuck out the way. So that is kind of how I see it. That's what's going on today. We had some really good numbers put in the trade plan or in the scoreboard today, but we're already 5 points or five points. We're already 4 or 5 minutes over session. So we're going to stop right there. You guys make sure you sign up for Edgeful. It is so worth it. You guys saw me make $2,700 today with one trade, because Edgeful gave me the confidence to hold. If you don't think that's worth $50 a month, then you need to go find a new job. McDonald's is hiring. Okay. So with that being said, today's my Thursday. I will not be here tomorrow, but the trade plan will be in your inbox at 8:30 in the morning. And I look forward to conquering the markets with you guys tomorrow. And I will see you Sunday for the post-market breakdown. For the weekend review. Cheers. Have a good one.